They went 8-5 last year. The Minnesota Golden Gophers, that is. Their head coach is PJ Fleck. He's been there for a while now. That's what I want to start with. PJ Fleck has been there for 9 years and won over 60% of his games. There's only like 7 other coaches that currently fit that bill in college football, and they're guys like Kirby Smart, the cream of the crop. So how do y'all rank PJ Fleck in terms of college coaches? Like, how do you view him as like a good coach, a great coach, elite coach?
I'm going to start
Personally, you hate the guy, wish he got fired, never coached again. Like, where are we at?
I'm going to start with where I have him ranked first, and that's how he dresses. The
Yeah.
dude shows up in a button-down tie and, like, pullover, like, nice pullover, quarter zip, and it is fire. He looks so clean. Love how he dresses. That's something that my mom and dad were always like, oh, this is how you should dress. But no, he's been a staple of college football over the last 10 years, like you said, winning 60% of his games, and has put together some good Minnesota teams.
Yeah.
Some teams that would get an upset here and there, but never like super impressive. But I would definitely put him up there, and I think that if you put him in a different situation, I think as far as coaching goes, he's been a very good coach to get kids to come play in Minnesota and play football and win games in the Big Ten. So I would put him up there as a top. Probably 2015 top 15 coach.
Cool.
In college football.
Yeah, I mean, he always has his team punching above their weight. But JP, thoughts on Fleck?
No, he's solid. He's had good competitive years at Minnesota. Their 2019 team would have made the playoff. They were 11-2. If we were in a 12-team playoff at that point, I think he would have gotten more praise, and he'd be thought about more. Got a great personality. I like him as a coach.
Cool. Yeah, Drake Lindsey is going to be the QB of this team most likely. Do you mind scrolling back up so I can see his stats? Sorry. Redshirt freshman, 3-star out of high school, kind of your more standard pocket passer, not really the most mobile. I'm not saying he's, I don't know, I'm trying to think. He's not Jared Stidham in the pocket or whatever, but, just your pocket passer archetype. He's going to lead the team. He's inexperienced, so there is a question mark there. He typically, PJ Fleck being key, rolls with more experienced guys. But once again, he always finds the guys to get the job done. So he's going to be there. Darius Taylor's back at running back. He had 986 yards and 10 touchdowns last season to go with 350 receiving yards. Very physical back. Will probably get drafted at the end of next season. But then I want to transition to the defense where the best player on this team is in Coy Parrish. Free safety, 28 solo tackles, 5 picks last season, 88.9 coverage grade per PFF. Returns punts and kicks as well. Also didn't start the season, so like if 28 tackles, maybe not really that high.
Yeah.
5 picks, that's good, but nothing crazy. But he didn't start because he was a true freshman last year. He's only going into his sophomore season.
Wow.
But he's a star. He'll probably be a first-round draft pick in the 2027 draft, just looking forward. He's a joy to watch. He's the best player on this team, in my opinion. Any thoughts on Coy Parrish, either of y'all?
No, I mean, I haven't heard of him until now, so that's really cool. I love a good safety. Love seeing Kyle Hamilton, get drafted where he did, and the show he's put on the. I love watching good safeties play football, so I'll have to keep my eye out for this guy now.
Sure. Yeah, I think something to watch going into this year. Just another point I want to bring up. PJ Fleck's teams have really been built on the rushing attack most seasons. It's kind of his bread and butter. They weren't really great running the ball last season, only 115.6 yards per game. The past 3 years, they've averaged 152 yards per game. So they're going to be looking to take that step back up and, get their rushing attack back to above average to really good because it's what they rely on. And they did go 8-5 last year, but it's hard. They built the sustained success on the running attack. They're going to need it to get back to that level. So thoughts on them? Their win total is 6.5.
I want to talk about what Sven said about PJ Fleck and how the Gophers hang in that second row in the Big Ten and can never beat the big dogs. I think they're okay with that.
I agree completely.
Not necessarily resigned to it, like accepted their fate, but like they are okay with going 7-5, 8-4, 9-3, and then maybe occasionally you pop out a 10-win season, and now a 10-win season gets you in the playoff. I think they're all right with that. I think Minnesota fans love PJ Fleck. I mean, we already talked about how much we like him as a coach. So I do, yes, they are that second tier in the Big Ten, but not everybody can be a part of the first tier. And I think that Minnesota is in a healthy position in that second tier.
Yeah, I agree. There's no reason they should want. I mean, okay,
They
you
want
should
to be.
want to be one of the elite teams, but there's no reason they should expect to be
Yeah.
or get greedy with their success. They just need to enjoy the winning season after winning season, the bowl game victories, the rivalry victories under PJ Fleck, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just enjoy all of that, and then maybe occasionally have your year where you kind of make a run.
The recruiting grounds and the resources are not what they need to be for Minnesota to just fling themselves in that upper tier. And Tucker's
Yeah.
right. It's kind of the ceiling. I think the ceiling for Minnesota is an occasional 10-win season.
Yeah.
And I think that's perfectly fine. For a lot of schools, that would be awesome. So I don't think that they're too upset about that. Over-under is 6.5, which we're just talking about, 8, 9, 10-win seasons, 6.5. So it's a lot lower than that. Some of that it's not a particularly tough schedule. They've got Ohio State and Oregon on it. But other than that, it doesn't look to be the hardest. JP, what are you thinking over-under? 6.5.
Well, it's the quarterback. It's
It's a big
starting
worry.
A freshman, 3-star. Now, Drake looks the part, 6'5". He played at Fayetteville High School in Fayetteville, Arkansas. It's kind of a culture shock, I'd assume, moving up to Minnesota. But he fits the eye, but his 3-star talent is the big question there. I think that's why your win total is where it's at. And then they've got, they were going to lose the Ohio State-Oregon game anyway, but they're both on the road. Those are obviously not going to be fun for the Golden Gophers. I'm going to take them to go under. I think PJ Flex gets them to a bowl game, but I just don't. From what I saw, I don't see Drake winning 7 Big Ten games in his first year as a starter.
He doesn't have to win 7 Big Ten games, but he will have to
7
win.
games in
Yeah,
general,
he
I
will
guess.
have to win multiple. I think that's fair. I'm gonna just bank on PJ Fleck, more with less, and he can get it done. Get him to 7 wins. I don't expect this to be one of their high-end years under him, but another solid year. I'll take the over.
I'm also gonna go over, and I think that having Ohio State and Oregon on the road plays to their benefit. You would love to not have them on the schedule, but it's a lot better having them on the road than at home, and then you go to Nebraska and you go to Wisconsin. So if you're gonna have them on the schedule, I think that you kind of just have to admit that those teams are far superior as far as talent goes. Maybe not necessarily coaching, but you are not winning that game in all likelihood unless they throw up the worst performance of all time and everything clicks for you. So you write those off as losses, and now it's like, well, what's the difference? Like, let's just go lose on the road and then come home,
Sure.
and now we have a chance against Wisconsin and Nebraska. I'm going to take the over. I think that part of the schedule does play to their advantage. And then, like we've been talking about PJ Fleck, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt about putting up another good season with less.
Well, his close alone gives him an extra win.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. It is fire.
That right there is the difference.